So, with episode 17 of Spy Family the anime, we are brought back to Eden College and the antics of Anya at school. And for anybody who is a Anya Damian ship fan, they were treated to a very enjoyable episode. And for me, I always like the antics between these two characters. But what I really enjoyed about episode 17 was, once again, the character development of Damian. Now, episode 17 actually continues on from episode 15, where Anya was naming the dog Bond. And if you recall at that time, in the beginning of that episode, Anya was trying to get closer to Damian by telling him that she got a dog. And so this continues on in this episode, and this episode starts out with Anya accidentally dropping a photograph of her family that includes the image of Bond. And she purposely, of course, does that in front of Damian so that he would see the photo and get all excited over the new dog that Anya had. At least that was her plan. And we also get an interesting reveal from Becky. And it was interesting to see some of the reactors react with regards to Becky's revelation of her crush on Loid. In that many people were like, Loid is an adult, why are you crushing on him? And I think some of these people forgot what it was like to be a kid crushing on some of your favorite idols on TV. In this case, of course, it's not an idol, it's somebody's dad. But in any case, a lot of times kids become very close to a specific adult that they idolize, even to the point of crushing on them. And so it's understandable what was going on in Becky's mind. But of course, this episode isn't really about Becky. It's actually about Damian and his revelation to who he is and how he relates to his family. But it's done through Anya, and because it's done through Anya, you get all sorts of comedy associated with this. Now, this revolves around a project where each student has to create a paper figurine of their favorite animal. And Becky chooses Loid to create, which makes Mr. Henderson have to tell Becky it is an animal that you have to create. Now, of course, Becky turns around, and considering being a 6-year-old, she does say, Mr. Henderson, you forgot. Humans are, in fact, animals. And so, yeah, Mr. Henderson takes an L for that one. But while that's going on, Damian is, of course, trying to figure out how to use this project to somehow get closer to his dad. And we start getting even more information with regards to his relationship with his father. We already knew that there was some sort of estranged relationship between Damian and his family, but we're getting a lot more confirmation in this episode. There is this desire for Damian to excel for the sole purpose of impressing his father so that he could get closer to him. Whether this is due to pride or this is due to love, it's hard to tell, but there is this extreme self-discipline that Damian has put on himself and self-consciousness that he's put on himself with regards to his value being measured by how his father will react to him. And so here he's trying to create the griffin, which is the symbol that's on his family's coat of arms. And by doing so, he hopes to impress his father. Now, Anya, of course, is still trying to get through her friendship plan. And so she's trying to find a way of impressing Damian. And considering that it's Anya and considering that it's Spy Family, you already know that this is not going to go well for Anya. And initially, she tries to impress him by creating a paper construct of her dog, Bond. But her skills are so bad that Damian really doesn't particularly find any of this to be impressive. And in fact, he says, do you always name your garbage with a name? But as people who watched this episode have said, yes, Anya is only 4, so you could understand that she has limited hand skills to do such figurines. But she does have the desire to try to help Damian. But of course, all of it backfires. Her huge imagination sends her in a bad direction for creating pieces for which Damian can use on the Griffin. And because she ends up using so much paper to create those pieces, Damian has no additional paper or time to be able to complete the Griffin in the way he wanted, and in fact, it turns out to be a complete disaster. And the only thing Anya can do is to offer Damian her piece, which was, of course, originally Bond, and it's been remade to become a female Griffin. And of course, because it's Anya again, the figurine turns out to be extremely questionable. But what's interesting is, with the tattered way these figurines were created, it created a very unusual imagination in the judges' eyes that they were thinking of this animal as an image of the family and us Tanya in general, coming out of the previous war being tattered, but still moving on with all its effort. And so Damian gets a top mark and first prize in this figurine contest. And although Anya tries to brag about it, Damian is still mad at her for creating such a mess that he didn't want. He feels probably that he won this out of a fluke rather than his skill. But a win is a win, and he initially uses that to try to contact his father. But what he gets is his family butler. It seems that his father doesn't have time to talk with him. And so through the conversations, Damian starts realizing that even this effort and getting first place is not going to win anything in terms of his father's heart. And though the butler tries to cover it up and cheer Damian on with whatever he can say, Damian reads through all of that nicety and realizes the situation relatively quickly. Now, he takes it quite well. And this is quite surprising for a 6-year-old, that he, first of all, understands when somebody is not being honest to him. But the other is that his reply is extremely well controlled. That gives you some idea of who Damian is. Considering that he was raised in a very privileged environment, and considering his family is ignoring him, that usually sends a person in the wrong direction in terms of personality. He has done well in understanding what is the right thing to do. So he doesn't strike back, and if anything, he just takes it nonchalantly. And then you understand through his following conversations that he has with his friends why he cherishes them so much. Of course, his two buddies, Emil and Ewan, are always there for Damian. And at this point, you're really not sure yet whether their friendship is genuine or they're just following him because of his status. But he does take their friendship very well because of the fact that that is the one close relationship that he has with anybody. And it may be also an indication of why, despite all the anger that he has against Anya, he does become courteous to her every once in a while. Because Anya is doing whatever she can, despite all her faults, to try to become closer to Damian. Yeah, we know that in that case, at this point, the relationship is not particularly genuine because she's doing it for world peace rather than because she likes Damian. But regardless, this awkward relationship between Anya and Damian is still moving forward positively, possibly because of the background that we now understand with regards to Damian. Yes, we did hate Damian in the original episode when he first came out, but we're starting to understand where he stands. And from my perspective, I actually don't find him to be all that bad a guy at all. And despite many people who want the Anya and Damian ship, in my case, it's actually more the friendship that I do want to see. The fact that there is a genuine care for each other beyond just romance. And considering that they are 6 years old, yeah, it would be nice to see them as friends at this age. But in any case, I found that this episode was quite good, mostly because of the understanding of where Damian stands. And I did find, despite all of that, the reveal that we find out about Becky to be quite hilarious. Now, there are additional 2 stories that are in this episode as well. One is associated with Sylvia Sherwood, and it corresponds to Short Mission 5 in the comic. Once again, the short missions are these author-created fillers that are not quite story size, but they do give some very nice character reveals. In this case, it is Sylvia Sherwood, and we do find more confirmation that she is a very competent agent. She is so competent that many of her colleagues call her the Full Metal Lady because she is faultless, often in her capabilities. But because this is Spy Family, we also do find that even amongst the perfectionists, there can be error that is created. And in this case, despite her successful disguise, Loid notices that she forgot to take the price tag off of her jacket. But considering the fact that she is so much a perfectionist, even the great agent Twilight is afraid of telling her about her fault. And the other part, of course, is that when Sylvia asks Loid about the progress in Operation Strix, he replies that, well, Anya has learned to jump higher on the vaulting box, and she can jump rope a little bit longer. And I know a lot of reactors that said, oh, isn't Loid becoming a proud dad? And maybe there is some of that. For me, it felt like one of those situations when your boss asks you for a progress and there isn't none, and so you have to grasp at any small thing that you can do. And that's what Loid is doing. And of course, Sylvia answers with the proper thought of what the heck is he talking about. Now, the last story with regards to Yor and Yuri is one that I can't remember from the comic. If anybody remembers which chapter that was in the comic, please tell me. But I'm wondering if that one is actually specifically for the anime. But whatever the case, it was quite hilarious. It reflects back to episode 16, revolving around Yor's cooking and her terrible skills at that. And it goes back to a backstory of how Yuri became Yuri. Yeah, this one was quite painful to watch. And I know some of the reactors almost got a little bit nauseous listening to Yuri's projectile vomiting. And you do have to give credit to whoever that voice actor was to take that projectile vomiting sound to that level. But in any case, what we find out is that Yuri is pretty much indestructible, and you can thank Yor for that. It was a very enjoyable chapter. It's kind of one of those light chapters again, and we're probably going to get a few more looking at the trailer for the next episode. It looks like, once again, there's 2 stories, 2 of them which I actually like. One is with regards to Loid and an infiltration mission, which is extremely hilarious, considering that Loid is a spy and this is a mission. It is a very funny one. And the other one actually is even funnier, which is all about when Anya meets Yuri. And my gosh, in the comic, I laughed like a swole chihuahua when I read that chapter. So I'm really looking forward to that episode when it comes out. And when it does, I'll bring out another video since I think it's tomorrow when it comes out. And I hope you join me at that time. But this is the episode 17 discussion for Spy Family. If you saw it, what you think about it, especially with regards to Damian, how do you view that character, and what do you think about his relationship with Anya? Any comments will be greatly appreciated. Until the next episode, happy anime watching, and as always, have a nice day, everyone.